Hello everyone, I am CorporateNapps and welcome back to my channel. Wanted to speak with you guys today about getting through the ugly stage. Here's the thing, I am not someone who subscribes to the idea that there is a stage of the lock process that's ugly, okay? Do I think that there are points in the lock phase or in the beginning where they are unruly or not quite locked, and so they are sort of getting their legs, if you will, morphing and changing and evolving into what they should be or will be? Yes, absolutely. But do I think that that stage is ugly? No, absolutely not. I wish that there was a term that we could coin that was a little bit better, a little more appreciative in the lock world of that phase that would sound a bit more like we have patience with our locks, because locks, no matter what form of locks, whether they be micro locks or traditional locks, they do have a time period where you are wanting them to morph and evolve into fully flowing locks. And I think that's where people get the ugly phase from. It's simply that the locks are not truly in lock phase. A part of that, I believe, has to do with the fact that we use the term lock interchangeably, right? So whether they are 10-year-old locks, we call them locks, or if they are baby locks, meaning you just got them installed, we call them locks. But the reality is, when locks are installed, they are hair that is in whatever method you chose to install. So if you installed, like myself, with braids, when you walk out of the door after that installation, they're just braided pieces of hair. It's hair that's braided, okay? They're not locks yet. You know, if you are starting with 2-strand twists, guess what? That initial phase, they're just in 2-strand twists. If you're starting with sister locks or an interlocking method, it's just hair that's interlocked. And so we use the word locks to reference the day we walk out of the door with our lock installation to 5, 6, 7, 8 years after. And I think that's where the sort of distinction, or people wanting to differentiate between the ugly phase and mature locks, come into play. Personally, I like the phrase baby stage. That's just my personal thing. The reason for that is, I think in terms of babies, you know, you're nurturing them in that early phase. You're getting to know them. They're getting to know you, meaning what you put on them and what you're doing daily with your hair. So to me, that's the baby phase. They're getting their legs, they're wobbling, they're trying to morph and evolve into what they should be. But what I wanted to do was speak to you guys about alternatives, or things that you can do to your hair or do to your locks while they're going through the baby phase or the phase that you are not quite in lock process or in the lock phase. So I want to speak with you guys about that and give you some alternatives. My goal is to confirm the different things that you can do to your hair, and I'm going to try to insert pictures of myself with these particular things that I'm listing as alternatives or things that you can do to get you through that baby phase. Now, keep in mind, some of my pictures are as my locks have matured. I did not find a number of pictures from the early phase, mostly because the pictures that I took at that time were of me in general, not specifically of my hair. So a lot of those pictures don't have a good view of my hair. So the pictures that you see, they will be in sort of the mature staging of my locks. However, the same things can be done to your baby locks. Before I move into that, go ahead and thumbs up this video if you find it beneficial, and of course subscribe, and be sure to hit that little notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, for those of you who want to see a more in-depth or closer view of my hair, feel free to join me on Instagram. Look in the banner above and you will see the link to my Instagram page, or in the description box below. So let's go. The first alternative is Updos. Updos are the perfect alternative because depending on the length of your hair, you're actually able to do it day one after your installation. One of the nice things about updos is you can do it in various ways, whether that means pulling it back or pulling it to the side or doing flat twists on the side, any of those things to get it off of your neck or not make it as visible because you don't feel like they are quite looking full enough or they're not quite where you want them to be, is a good alternative. The next alternative is a side sweep. Side sweeps are the epitome of I've gotten locks and I'm trying to do something different with my hair. For whatever reason, side sweeps are that look that people go to because for one, it's easy, but it also can give you kind of a dressy look if you want. And the great thing about them is you typically don't have to put any tension on your edges or the back of your hair. You can pretty much make it as loose as you need to have it so that there's no tension, which is what you always want when dealing with your locks. And of course, that alleviates any stress on different parts of your hair, which of course lessens the likelihood of breakage or weakening of the locks at the scalp. The next alternative are buns. Buns are awesome if you have the length to do the buns. You can also do buns very quickly after getting your install. Buns are nice because you can put them up high. You can put them up high, you can put them low, you can put them to the side. It's just a really great alternative. And again, you can dress it up or have it very casual. You can have a messy bun. That's one of the best alternatives for me because in most cases, I simply wanted my hair off my face, not because of the phase that it was in, but maybe because I was working out or I was outside in the heat. And so putting it all up in a bun was ideal because it did not touch any part of my body, my face, my neck, my ears. So buns are a really great alternative as well. The next item are curls. Now, curls are a personal favorite for me. If you've looked at any of my older videos, you know that that is typically how I wear my hair, in curls. And the nice thing about curls is that you can do variations of curls. You can use perm rods, you can use flexi rods. There are so many things on the market now that will allow you to curl your hair rather quickly and have a different look with those curls. You can use pipe cleaners, which give the hair a completely different look. The other nice thing about curls is as your hair gets longer, it actually can change the length of your hair. Meaning if your hair is getting longer and you want it off your neck or you want it up higher or you don't want sort of the long sweeping look, the curls give your hair a nice look, but also being able to shorten the length of the hair. So you have the ability to alternate your look and your lengths without having to actually cut it. And the next is braid outs. I must admit, I do have an affinity to braid outs as well. Between curls and braid outs, I kind of go back and forth. Again, preference being curls. But braid outs are nice because you can have that sort of crinkly look that almost gives it a water wave type of look. Another alternative to the braid outs is twist. I don't do twist outs very often, but you can put your hair in twist and wear them like that. And of course, the twist out gives it, yes, a crinkly look, but not as crinkly as braid outs. But braid outs are really nice. And remember, with all of these items, the braid outs, the curls, you can do updos and side sweeps with them, and they will completely change the look of your curls and braid outs. Believe it or not, the next item is simply changing your part. You will be surprised at how just changing where you put your part in your hair will completely alter the look of your locks. You know, depending on the shape of your face, you can find the part that works best for you, but having a very deep side part along with having a regular side part, that middle part, which is one of my personal favorites, any of those things can completely change the look of your face, and it can change the look of your locks. Sounds very simple, but it's true. So hopefully you can see what I mean by the pictures. Again, similar to the curls and the braid outs, if you have a side part with curls and braid outs, you can do updos and side sweeps, and you'll be able to see how that can change your look as well. And the next, headbands. So I'm a sucker for a headband. I'm a sucker for a cute headband. I feel like headbands, depending on what they are, they can adorn your look or adorn your locks and turn them up a notch. I think that there's something about having things that are a bit dainty or just really girly. They tend to soften the looks of your locks, especially if they're straight or if they're in a braid out, as well as when they're in curls. The next, hats. Let me tell you something about a good old-fashioned hat. A hat can give you a certain swag. I don't care. Did I just kind of tell my age there by using the word swag? At any rate, it will give you a very different look regardless of what your hairstyle is or what type of hair you have at any given time, whether it's short, straight, whatever. Hats are just everything. Looking at fedoras, looking at hats with large brims, looking at straw hats, beach hats. I mean, it is a great alternative to just sometimes not knowing what to do with your hair, sometimes just wanting to cover it because you're lazy, like I am sometimes, and just, again, to change the look. Of course, you know, I'm like most people, when I put on a hat, I'm sort of thinking about my whole outfit, but there are times where I don't even think about it. I throw a hat on and out of the blue, I'm like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. And it just pulls things together very nicely. The next is head wraps and scarves. Head wraps and scarves are really nice. I don't do them as much as I really like to or want to. I see myself in the couple of pictures that I have with head wraps, and I'm like, why don't I do that more often? But I love the look. You can do just about anything, you know, not just about, you can do anything. You can, you know, have it all up and out of the way, your hair all up and out of the way. You can leave a bang out, a small bang or a large bang. You can do sort of a curled flip thing with a bang and put a head tie on. You can leave half of the hair out and half of it pinned up. However you want to do it, your head wraps and scarves are just a really good alternative as well. And the next item is just to let it hang. I know you guys were not expecting that one, but just letting your hair hang and adoring it as it is and nurturing it and letting it do whatever it's going to do is a great alternative. It's a good way to get familiar with your hair, to get to know each lock intimately, and just love it the way that it is. Again, there's nothing wrong with doing the items that I mentioned or putting on the alternative methods to cover it up, or put headbands on, or do whatever method needed to get you through whatever phase you think that you're going through. But there's something about just letting it hang as well that is just as refreshing. That's it, guys. That's what I have. I hope that everyone is doing well and that you are all staying safe. Take care.